Good evening. Tonight on Africa Focus, we track the collision of a global tech and local law in Namibia, a surprising silver lining for Kenya's national career and a potential financial breakthrough for the Republic of Somaliland. This is Africa Focus on KOW TV. My name is Maurice Mbugua. Now, we begin by examining the growing friction between global tech giants and African economic sovereignty. Namibia has officially declined an operating license for Starlink, the satellite internet venture owned by billionaire Elon Musk. This marks the second major setback for the company in Southern Africa, highlighting a fundamental clash of a local ownership. While Starlink is celebrated for bringing high-speed connectivity to the most isolated corners of the globe, Namibian regulators reportedly found the company's structure lacking. Although the Communications Regulatory Authority of Namibia did not provide an immediate public post-mortem of the decision, their documentation pointedly noted that Starlink's local unit currently possesses zero local ownership. From an African perspective, this is about economic justice. Starlink has faced a similar wall in South Africa, where the law mandates that 30% of equity in telecommunications firms must be held by historically disadvantaged groups, a direct effort to heal the economic scars of the apartheid era. Elon Musk himself, South African born, has allegedly dismissed these black empowerment policies, refusing to cede the required stake. While Starlink argues that it plans to create local jobs through partnerships, regulators are holding firm on the principle that foreign investment must include local skin in the game. This standoff serves as a critical case study for the continent. As the fourth industrial revolution rises, African nations are increasingly insisting that global billionaires plan and play by local rules designed to ensure wealth stays within their borders. Now, as the fires of conflict continues to burn in the Gulf, the geography of global travel is shifting and Kenya Airways is emerging as an unexpected beneficiary. The national carrier reports that its flight bookings have spiked dramatically in recent weeks, with seat occupancy levels pushed to near total capacity. This surge is being fueled by a massive influx of travelers from United States, Europe, and Asia who are looking for safer corridors as the tensions between Iran, Israel, and the United States make traditional flight paths increasingly risky. The airline's leadership, led by Acting Chief Executive George Kamal, noted that this trend became unmistakable after February as international carriers scrambled to avoid dangerous airspaces and suspend services in conflict zones. Nairobi is increasingly seen as a stable alternative hub. This shift has allowed Kenya Airways to strengthen its performance on routes linking Africa to Western and Asian markets. Now, to ensure this momentum is installed by global energy volatility, the airline has reportedly secured fuel reserves for at least 2 months and is allegedly exploring new supply chains in India. It is a striking example of how geopolitical instability in one region can create a sudden high-stakes demand for stability in another, turning Nairobi into a vital bridge for the global traveler. Turning our focus to the Horn of Africa now, we analyze what could be the most significant step toward ending Somaliland's economic isolation in decades. Abdinasir Halsi, the governor of the Central Bank of Somaliland, has issued a powerful endorsement of a new U.S. legislative push known as HR 7993. This bill, introduced by Congressman John Rose, aims to dismantle the legal and technical barriers that have long barred Somaliland from the American and international financial systems. For Hargeisa, this is about the moral and human rights to be part of the global economy. The legislation mandates the U.S. Treasury to provide a roadmap within 6 months to resolve the obstacles that prevent Somaliland from joining the SWIFT international payment network. Governor Halsi argues that Somaliland's exclusion is an outdated relic of political isolation and ignores the reality on the ground. Over the past year, the central bank has been aggressively modernized, upgrading cybersecurity and strictly enforcing anti-money laundering protocols to prove it is a credible partner. From a strategic standpoint, this move aligns with growing U.S. interest in the region, especially following Israel's landmark recognition of Somaliland late last year. By integrating Somaliland into formal banking channels, the U.S. would not only boost regional growth but also bring transparency to financial flows that are currently forced through opaque informal networks. This is a nation that is no longer asking for permission to exist but demanding the tools to compete on the world stage. Finally, we look at the rising political temperature in Zimbabwe, where a single arrest has become a symbol of a much larger struggle for the country's soul. Opposition leader Tendai Biti was recently granted bail after being detained near the Mozambique border, accused of holding an unauthorized public gathering. While the court has released him on $500 bail, the move has done little to calm the growing unrest over the future of Zimbabwe and democracy. The real story here is the looming constitutional overhaul that could fundamentally change how citizens in Zimbabwe choose their leaders. Now, these proposed changes would allow President Emmerson Mnangagwa to extend his leadership beyond 2028 and move presidential elections from a public ballot to a parliamentary vote. Critics and activists have alleged that these maneuvers are a blatant attempt to entrench power and sidestep the will of the people. While the ruling ZANU-PF party denies any wrongdoing, the atmosphere in the country is increasingly tense, marked by accusations of intimidation and repression. For many in Zimbabwe, the legal battle facing Tendai Biti is merely the tip of the spear in a fight to ensure that the democratic progress made after the Mugabe era is not permanently rolled back. Now, as the satellites of the future meet the laws of the past and the rails of diplomacy continue to run, we remain your constant guide to the African perspective. Thank you for joining us on Africa Focus. My name is Maurice Mbogwa.